Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream with me, Lar from Complete Test Success. So today we're looking at General Training IELTS Writing Task 1. For those of you who don't know me, I've been an IELTS examiner in writing and speaking. I've been teaching IELTS since 2010. So basically, I'm going to use my expertise to help you improve your scores today. But rather than trying to teach you how to write a task 1 letter, I'm going to get you to write the letter, and then I'm going to point out any mistakes you're making. So if you don't know how to write a task 1 letter, you'll find lessons on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page where I describe how to do that. You'll find how to do that. But then in the live streams, basically, I'll get you to write the various parts of a letter, and I'll give you feedback on any mistakes that you're making, and that will help you to improve your scores. So if you know what you're doing wrong, well, then you don't do that again next time. Simple as that. Okay. So let me just have a quick look here, make sure everything is working on my system. Okay, so let me show you the question that we're working on today. So this is today's question. You recently attended a conference and wanted to give feedback to the organizer. Now, the first thing I'm going to get you to do is to sign on to write the greeting. So let me just give you the instructions here on the bottom of the screen. All right, so I want you to write the greeting for the letter. So how would you start this letter? Share it with me in the comments. If you're doing it correctly, I'll take it and I'll add it to the document on the screen. If you're making mistakes, I'll tell you what your mistakes are and explain to you how to avoid those mistakes in future. So what we'll be doing, as well as me giving you feedback, we will work together to construct an answer for this question on the screen as we go along. Besides that, if anyone has any questions as we're going through the letter, feel free to ask and I'll be able to answer those questions for you as well. Okay, so quite a small number of viewers here today. So if I don't get much participation, what I'll do is I'll just put the essay, I'll put the letter together on screen for you guys and explain what you're doing. So I'll just wait another, let's say 30 seconds. If anyone tells me what greeting we can use, we'll work together. And if not, I'll construct the letter for you guys on screen. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll construct the letter here. Now, what you'll see at the bottom, it says, "Dear Sir" or "Madam" down in the corner. So if the question tells us to begin the letter with "Dear Sir" or "Madam," well, then the obvious thing to do is to do exactly what the question asked us to do. Okay. So from there, we need to start answering the prompts. The first prompt in this question says, "Say which conference you attended." So obviously that has to be the first thing that we do. And what I always encourage my students to do is to respond directly in the first sentence. That's something that I feel like is very important, because the development of your idea is going to count a lot towards your task achievement score. And if you respond directly in the first sentence, well, then all of the paragraph will be development of that idea. Whereas if you don't respond to that first sentence, if you don't respond in the first sentence and then you answer or respond in the second sentence, well, then there's less development. Like that first sentence didn't really do anything for your task achievement score. So let's make sure we respond directly here. So say which conference you attended. I recently attended the conference that you organized in relation to foreign universities that are currently accepting students from abroad. It was quite far from my home, so I needed to travel by train to attend, but okay, so I'm going off topic here. I need to talk about the conference I attended. Okay, so here I'm getting onto the second point, explain why you enjoyed it. So I shouldn't be talking about that right now. There were university, UNIV representatives from over 10 different English-speaking countries, which meant that there was a lot of information related to my current goals. Okay, so now every paragraph should be somewhere about 60 words. So if I look at that, it's only 44 words. So I need to say a little bit more than that. So let's say maybe a little bit about the location. It was the one that you held in Dublin at the end of last month. And there were university representatives from over that. Okay, so how are we looking there? Okay, so that's about 60 words. Okay. Hi, Javaria. Welcome to the lesson from Pakistan. Good to see you here. Sumya, good evening to you too. Welcome. Hi, Fung. Yeah, so we're looking at general training today, not academic. So basically, if you're an academic student, this is very, very little, if not no benefit to you. I wouldn't recommend any academic students studying general lessons, and similarly, general students wouldn't want to study academic. But that basically only covers task 1. Writing task 2 is the same for both. Listening is the same. Speaking is the same. And the types of texts used in the reading test are different, even though the questions themselves are the same. So yes, the short answer is yes. We're looking at general. If there is not any names, can we start with dear sir or madam? Yeah, definitely. And that's what it says to do in the question. The question says to start the letter with dear sir or madam. Okay, so next we need to explain why you enjoyed it. And I kind of started up here. So I'm going to use what I had here. Now, I had started to put this information in the first paragraph, but this paragraph must be about why I enjoyed it. So there, although it was quite far from my house, so I needed to travel by train to attend. I thoroughly enjoyed the event because I got to speak directly with people who work in the universities where I will hopefully study in the future. I was able to learn about some things that would encourage me to choose some universities over others, and therefore give me a better understanding of where to study. Okay, something like that. So that's why I enjoyed it. Okay, so now we only have one more prompt. It says, suggest how it could have been improved. Okay, so let me just look at the other questions we have here before we continue. Hello, sir, how are you? Could you send me your paid class link? Yep, no problem. So let me just find that link for you here. Okay. If you look in the comments, you'll see there I said IELTS courses, and I've shared that link with you there. Hi, B. Winkle. Are we writing the prompts or will you write the samples, sir? Right, so it seemed like nobody was participating. So I was writing the letter myself, but absolutely, if there are people here that now want to participate, we can certainly do that. So I have already written the greeting, paragraph 1 about the first prompt, say which conference you attended. Paragraph 2 about the second prompt, explain why you enjoyed it. So now we have just that final prompt, suggest how it could have been improved. So let me hand it over to you guys. What I want first is I just want you to write the first sentence of paragraph 3, because it's very important that we directly respond to the prompt. So the question prompt says, suggest how it could have been improved. I want that suggestion to be in the first sentence, and then we will spend the rest of the paragraph developing that idea. Okay, so let me hand it over to you. I'll let you guys write that sentence for me, share it with me in the comments, and I will have feedback for you there. Babli, you're very welcome. No problem at all. Thanks for asking. Okay, so I'll give you guys some time to write sentence 1 of body paragraph 3 about the prompt, suggest how it could have been improved. Okay, B. Winkle, that was very fast. That being said, there are some changes which can further improve the quality of the conference. The first recommendation is to provide the refreshments for the guests, as many of them, including me, came from faraway places. And I like how that links in to what I said earlier about traveling so far. Okay, so let me take that. I can see you've sent me a second version, so maybe there are some grammar corrections there. Now, remember what I said was that I want to respond directly. So you said, that being said, there are some changes which can further improve the quality of the conference. So you haven't really said what that change is. So basically, you mentioned that change for the first time here. So this is what's getting us a task achievement score, telling us what the change is. And then developing that idea will improve the task achievement score further. So this is just telling me what you're going to talk about rather than talking about what you need to talk about. So I want to combine this into one sentence. So that being said, there were some changes which could have. So we're talking about the event is an event that's finished. So we're imagining how could that event have been better rather than the event is still ongoing and what can we do now to improve it now. So we need to use this conditional where we're referring to how the past could have been different. Okay, so that being said, there were some changes which could have further improved the quality of the conference. And the main one is that you could have provided. So again, it's this structure where we're talking about imagining the past being different. And we don't say their refreshments, it's just refreshments in general. And the main one is that you could have provided refreshments for the guests, as many of them, including me, came from faraway places. Okay, so that's a very good start. And at the moment, that is a total of 42 words. So we don't need to develop this very much at all. Let me just move this up to the top of the document because it's important you can see which prompt we're looking at. Okay, so we need to finish developing this paragraph. We only need about 20 words, but we must discuss exactly the topic that we've been asked to discuss. So suggest how it could have been improved. So we need to say more. What B. Winkle has shared with us is great in that it gets us started. It's focused on what we need to focus on. We just need to finish it now with another roughly 20 words or so. Okay, so I'll give you all some time to write the development for this paragraph, and then I'll add it to the screen. Fung, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to join in other academic lessons from you soon. Yeah, you too, Fung. See you next time. Okay, B. Winkle, direct and to the point. I like it. The refreshments may include a bottle of water and some sandwiches to help guests to last till the conference is over. Okay, so let me just copy that. And I'll paste it in here. Now, the first time you said the refreshments, I said it should be refreshments, not their refreshments, because it's not specific. But this time their refreshments is correct because you're now referring to the refreshments that you mentioned earlier. So the refreshments that you would supply to the guests. So that's why that is necessary this time, but was not necessary the first time. The first time it was refreshments in general. Now it's the specific refreshments you've already mentioned in your paragraph. So the refreshments may include, now again, we need to go back. We're talking about, the imaginary past situation. The past is already finished, but we're imagining how that past could have been different, how it could have been better. So the refreshments could have included a bottle of water and some sandwiches to help guests to last till the conference was over. Now, just one other little thing, and this is very, very important in general training, is that we cannot use informal vocabulary, and the word till is informal. It's one of the main reasons why general training candidates will get a lower score in their letter, is they include informal vocab when it's a formal letter, or they include formal vocab when it's an informal letter. It's a very quick way to reduce your task achievement score. So when we look at this paragraph, we're thinking, excellent, everything is there. We've done what we needed to do. We responded directly to the prompt. We developed our idea fully, good range of vocab, great range of structures, a lot of accuracy. But now we have one informal word, till. Score goes down and goes down significantly. So be really, really careful. If you're a general training IELTS student, this is a formal letter, so we must use a formal word. So until is appropriate, till is not. Okay, so with that, we have now written our 3 paragraphs. So that should be somewhere around 180 words. Let me check there. 196, so a little bit longer, but that is not a big problem. We have one thing left to do, and that is to sign off. So how are we going to sign off for this letter? Keeping in mind it is a formal letter, so that does determine the type of sign off that we will include. It's a formal letter. How are we going to sign off? Articles are my weak area. Yeah. So to be honest, articles are generally the area that take the longest time to become accurate. So like most high-level students are still making article mistakes where like everything else kind of falls into place earlier, where the other areas of grammar aren't as complicated. Whereas with articles, there are a lot of different rules determining how to use them, and there are a lot of different exceptions. So it is a difficult area to improve. Is that being said, good connector? Because I'm writing, not saying. Is that being said? Yeah, that being said, that's fine. Yeah, it's formal. And it says, you know, we've just been talking about the good stuff, and now I'm going to talk about something I didn't like. No, that being said was completely suitable in your paragraph. Okay, yours faithfully, BB Winkle. We usually write the full name and the surname. So yours faithfully is perfect. You need a comma after yours faithfully, though. So you've just written yours faithfully. Don't forget that comma. Okay. And when you're signing off, we don't. I think, to be honest, it would probably be accepted, like B Winkle. I think it would be accepted, but for me, I prefer not to take any chances. So I would be more confident that I'm doing the right thing by writing your full name. Okay. So, you know, if like, I don't know if it's like you know, Bob Winkle, like that. What does B stand for in B Winkle, if you don't mind? What is the B in B Winkle? Okay, so let's say it's Bella, just for example. I know it's unlikely correct, but we'll just go with the full first name and the surname rather than B Winkle or just your first name. So when it is a formal letter, we want first name and surname, like that. And I'm glad to tell you that that is a good, well-developed idea, well-developed letter. We've done everything we need to do. We pretty much wrote it in 20 minutes. So we even managed to get it finished. Even though we're doing it together, we were still able to do it in what would be pretty much the time required in the real test. English, Sarah Academy, yours faithfully, perfect. But remember, a big Y and a comma after faithfully. B Winkle. Some teachers say that we should not use comparison language when academic task 1 is dynamic. Is that true? What would comparison language be? Because like if you say it increased, you're comparing the start with the end. Like that's a comparison. You're comparing 2 years, or you're comparing 2 points in time. So I'm not sure what that would be. You definitely need to make comparisons. You definitely need to make comparisons. We won't get into that too much. We're looking at general training today. But that there is our full letter. So we're going to finish up there. I will have another live stream next week, and next week we will be looking at task 2. What I'm going to do is later in the week, I'll post a question. So if you look at my YouTube channel in the community section of my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page, I'll post a task 2 question later in the week, and I'll get you guys to write an answer for that. So instead of writing the essay together in the live stream like we're doing here, I will get you guys to write it in advance. I will choose one randomly and do a full essay correction for that person. So that's what I'm going to do next week. Oh, B is from Jordan B. Peterson. He's a famous psychologist, and Winkle is taken from a book. Okay, so it's a pseudonym. That's perfect. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Talk to you next time. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.